Hi, I'm Eric D'Amato.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And welcome back to Mindbreakers. Let me talk to you about a book.
It's a sentence that usually goes really good or really bad, so hit me.
A book I really like and is one of my favorite science fiction novels ever written.
Oh, this cannot go anywhere good.
A book by Richard Matheson.
Alright.
A book called I Am Legend.
Ooh, uh-oh.
I Am Legend is kind of the progenitor, at least one of the progenitors of zombie films. The whole idea of someone barricaded in a house and the undead trying to get in to kill/eat them kind of came from the book I Am Legend. The first film adaptation, Last Man on Earth, starring Vincent Price, was one of the major inspirations for George A. Romero to make Night of the Living Dead. So I gotta say, when the fact that the 2007 adaptation that actually bears the name I Am Legend ended up just being another bargain basement zombie film kind of annoyed me.
So I take it we're watching I Am Legend today.
We are watching I Am Legend. We have already watched another I Am Legend on the show before. About 101 episodes ago.
There's another I Am Legend?
Well, The Omega Man.
Oh, I think there's
also
another movie
based on...
called I Am Legend. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, no, there's a mockbuster called I Am Omega. But yeah, The Omega Man, really liked, but neither movie's good, but Omega Man is kind of it's a fun B-movie. It has the B-movie flair, so did the Vincent Price one.
Sure.
They have like a B-movie schlock drive-in flair. That works for what they are. But then we get to the Will Smith vehicle.
You don't sound pleased that we're going to be watching this.
Years after a plague kills most of humanity and transforms the rest into monsters, the sole survivor in New York City struggles valiantly to find a cure. 7.2 came out in 2007. I actually watched this in theaters when it came out.
Oh, I didn't. I waited to DVD.
I went with my dad, stayed in the movie theater.
Oh, that's fair. God, 2007? It's been that long already?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. It feels like that movie came out, like, only a couple of years ago.
Well, it was in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, yeah, true.
But it's Will Smith. Let's watch this.
Nothing happened the way it was supposed to happen. We're seeing mutations, cannibalistic hunger.
Typical human behavior is now entirely absent.
My name is Robert Neville. I'm a survivor living in New York City. I haven't seen another person in 3 years. If there's anybody out there, anybody, please. 1001, I'm still unable to transfer my immunity to infected hosts. I can reverse the spread. I'm not gonna let this happen.
I can save you! I can save everybody!
Light up the darkness.
Okay, a few things right off the bat about this one. One, what is it about these adaptations and having really, really negative, subtle messages to them? Because Omega Man, even though I love this movie, had a subtle, not so subtle anti-desegregation message.
I remember you telling me about that at like some point in the past.
And this movie's an anti-vaxxer's wet dream. Wow. Also, yes, yeah, I know you think you set yourself in New York because it's more relatable to the movie going public, and every movie's basically set in New York, and you can have the really horrifying image of the Brooklyn Bridge being blown up to keep people from getting off the island of Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
But the real reason you did it, aside from all movies are set in New York, Times Square is free product placement.
There's a lot of
placement. It's transparent too. There's so much. Every scene has something.
Yeah, like there's some shots where it's like, okay, it's a gag. Like we were joking before recording about
Batman
the Batman versus Superman thing. You're like, okay, it's a neat little joke you could throw in there because, like, you know, DC was somewhat coming back then.
And it's Warner Brothers movie.
And it is
also,
a Warner
this
Brothers
is supposed
movie,
to be This is supposed to have happened in 2009 because it's 2012 when the movie takes place.
Yeah.
Sorry, Warner Brothers, your movies were dead by now. It would be Marvel.
Little did we know, huh? Little did we know.
Because in 2009, Iron Man came out.
Yep. Remember when that came out and everyone was just like, "Oh, who fucking cares?"
Well, I mean, it was like, "Oh, cool, Iron Man. Let's move on." And then the Incredible Hulk came out, and it was bad. It's a bad movie. But then in the end credits scene, there's General Thunderbolt Ross sitting at a bar. Then Tony Stark sits down.
Yep.
And we're like,
"Oh shit!" Then we got like Thor's hammer in one of the other ones.
I think they mention a hammer.
Yeah, basically we're all losing our collective shits because Avengers was eventually going to happen.
And then Avengers actually happened and was good. And then Avengers Endgame came out and I went to the theaters. And I rarely go to the movie theaters, but I went to that one in the theaters. And when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer, I was cheering in the movie theater.
Ah, fuck.
But yeah, I Am Legend. We start with baseball, I think. They're talking about baseball. I'm like, okay, you have a point, movie. But it's the news, and some lady called something with a K.
I don't. Yeah, I don't remember.
She's reworked the measles to make a viral cure for cancer.
No, fuck. You could just do that?
I guess.
Sure.
And it's like, so you're saying you've cured cancer? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. 3 years later, a shot that should be impressive but isn't, and everyone's dead in the world.
Oh, I know what shot you're talking. Okay. Yeah.
This shot, okay, there's something that's really, really, really remarkable for the 1971 film The Omega Man. Is the opening shot where Charlton Heston is driving through San Francisco, and it is completely empty.
Well, yeah, actually, that's really impressive for... When was that movie made?
71.
God damn.
Because that means they had to empty the city. Just like those shots in 2001's 28 Days Later, they had to empty parts of London to film.
I remember that, yeah. I remember that being a thing.
But a big overhead view of New York City in a 2007 movie isn't impressive because it's just a cartoon.
Yeah.
Right. This should be impressive, but it's not impressive because I know none of it. You didn't. I mean, yeah, kudos to the people actually doing the animation. I guess well done, but it's not nearly as impressive.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely like I would say 2007 is when or around this time is when special effects really started being like a hallmark, I guess, of film. Like
kind of. Also, when you stop being able to sell a movie based on special effects alone.
Yeah, that's it.
Because the more ubiquitous they became, the less impressive they became.
That's it. Yeah, that's exactly it.
And here we are now. Entertain us.
So Will Smith is doing his thing.
He is Dr. Robert Neville, and he's driving in a Ferrari, chasing a herd of deer with his dog Sam. And do you mind if I talk for a moment about Sam?
Sure.
Why will they never cast one of these movies with an actor who can actually do the role properly? Because the point of I Am Legend is he is the last person on Earth. And he is completely alone, and that is a major part of the middle of the book is him trying not to lose his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that all of the Vincent Price one is just narrated the whole way through. He doesn't really have to. Vincent Price doesn't have to. A woefully miscast Vincent Price, by the way, doesn't have to really carry the film based solely on his solo performance. The infected are sentient in the Omega Man, talking sentient, and they bring in the human resistance pretty early on in the movie. And this one, he has a dog, because Will Smith, I guess, wasn't confident that he could carry a movie with just his solo performance, because he has this living creature to interact off. And I'm not the hugest fan of this actor, not Will Smith, but the actor I'm about to mention. Cast an actor who has established that they can carry a film where they're the only character. Just cast Tom Hanks as Robert Neville. He's proven he can do this.
Yeah, with Castaway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not his biggest fan. I like him as Woody.
I mean, yeah, of course. Tom Hanks is good, but I wouldn't say he's my favorite actor.
Of all the cast of Polar Express is just him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Sam. Sam's the best character.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dog.
But she's a crutch.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. It fucking worked for me.
And yeah, anyway, he's driving after a herd of deer in a car to shoot a deer so he can eat it, presumably.
I'd hope so.
And somehow the herd of deer outrun his Ferrari. Okay.
we don't worry. We don't worry about that part. Doesn't matter. Move on.
And he doesn't get to kill a deer because the cartoon lions show up and eat one. They eat the deer he was going to kill.
And he's just like, damn. All right. Then he goes home, I think.
He goes home and he abuses his dog.
Feeding it fucking curry or some shit.
Yeah, he's feeding her rice and vegetables, and sorry, yeah, that is abuse. That's animal abuse. That's not the dog's natural diet at all. Dogs need meat to not die.
Yeah.
It's amazing this dog lasted 3 years if that's what he's been feeding it.
This movie kind of really surrounds the whole idea of shit just happens in this movie.
Yeah, it's
obviously he goes home. They're watching recorded footage just to try to keep some
of
sense
the news.
Just have some sense of normality. He washes his dog, and then the lights start to go, which means bad,
And
I guess.
he's listening to something you never want to hear in a Will Smith movie, "Don't Worry" by Bob Marley. Because, yeah, the last time those were together, we got Shark Tale.
Sure did.
Which, I mean, Jack Black was good in, but that's just because he's Jack Black. And I don't think he's ever not good.
I don't think so either. He's pretty
He's like
okay.
Morgan Freeman or Tim Curry in that respect. They can be in an awful movie, but they're still them.
Yeah, it's still
So they're
Jack
still
Black
watchable.
at the end of the day, being
Or
Jack
Morgan
Black.
Freeman or Tim
Morgan
Curry.
Freeman or Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
I got my parents to watch Clue
Morgan
the other day.
Freeman. Watch what?
Clue,
Nice.
because I never saw it before, and I'm like, bruh.
Well, I couldn't have her screaming.
Watch Clue. It's good. It's fun.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Don't watch I Am Legend.
I mean, watch it if you're curious, but
So,
they curl up in the tub to survive the night, I guess.
and
gets
he
war
puts iron
flashbacks.
shutters on the door, and we hear screaming outside.
He gets his war flashbacks from before.
I'd like to point out in the book, it's not rage zombies from 28 Days Later. It's just vampires
Just fucking vampires, dude.
that need to be staked and hate this. They kept the hate the sunlight in this, but
Yeah.
well, you can't really do an action movie because this is an action movie where you can't just shoot the bad guys. You have to. You have to be able to kill the bad guys with a gun. Staking people isn't
That's
exciting, which is why they made vampires weak to silver and other things.
Yeah. It's like to like kind of build off that point, you could probably say something like, well, maybe Will Smith doesn't know how to kill these things. Like, yeah, but it's been 3 years at this point. Like,
And he's quite clearly killed several of them.
yeah, so like he would know, you know. So you can't really ride the whole like, he just doesn't know argument. I've seen that a couple of times, like just on the internet, but people are stupid.
I mean, he manages to kill several in this movie, and he kills them by shooting. So
Yeah, but yeah, they're just mindless. Not mindless, but they're just monsters, I guess. I don't fucking know.
we'll get to how bad they are in a bit. So he's trying to make a vaccine.
Oh yeah, because he could do that apparently.
He hasn't yet, so he can't. But
Well, you know what I
presumably
mean?
somebody
like,
can.
like he just has the lab for it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that ever explained? Like,
Well, it's his site, which was explained in the flashback. So maybe it was there pre-war,
okay, that
well,
makes a little
pre-apocalypse.
more sense. Yeah.
He's injecting rats and making zombie rats.
Oh, yeah,
Are you
'cause
sure you're
he's-
not a mad
he's
scientist, Will
immune,
Smith?
By the way, to the whatever the fuck is going on in the air.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, they don't really.
Dogs are immune to the airborne, but not being bitten.
Yeah.
Then we flash back to the Christmas in New York.
Yay!
And we get subjected to Will Smith's daughter's attempts at acting.
Hey, I'll give her some
Less
kudos. She left the acting part.
True. All of his kids did.
Yeah. Jaden, I think, was in something recently.
Honestly, I thought he was just trying to be deep on Twitter.
I mean, he's also doing that. But,
And saying just intentionally bizarre things.
fucking weird kid.
Yeah, more power to him.
Yeah, I could give less, like, of a shit. This is funny. But yeah, we get the flashbacks of the time before the apocalypse.
Do you want to... there are 3 of these. Do you want to just talk about them all in one go?
Yeah, I may as well. Fuck it. I mean, the movie, like, tries to build up, but you know it's going to happen.
You know his family's dead.
Yeah.
You know how you know they're not dead? You know how you know they're dead?
Because they're not there.
They're not here.
Yeah, I could tackle that, like, real quick. Basically,
So...
people are being evacuated because of the whole virus thing going on. So they arrive at like a fucking pier or an airport. Or some shit.
Sam's his daughter's there with a puppy and his wife.
Yeah, he's
The
trying.
puppy is Sam.
trying to get his family on the helicopter out of there.
He's military, by the way. He's Lieutenant Colonel Robert Neville.
Yes. And he makes that quite clear. Might I add.
Yeah.
The people are getting scanned to make sure they're not infected. They scan his
kid's okay. He's okay. His wife's not. At least it doesn't read her as okay.
Yeah.
And he starts yelling, "Scan her again! No, scan her again! I am Lieutenant Colonel Robert Neville, and I'm ordering you to scan her again."
Like, okay.
So yeah, this is when I start wondering if he's supposed to be the bad guy because he's just abusing his power.
Now, she is okay. So,
or at least it's scan. I don't know.
I don't know. Just fuck it. It's not gonna matter in the next 30 seconds.
Gets on the helicopter. His wife wants him to come with them because look, it's too late. You can't fix this. Let's just get out of the city.
And he's like, "No, I can fix this. I can fix this.
It's my site. It's not up to you. It's my site."
Fuck you. I'm the main character.
And they get on the helicopter. They blow up the bridges because, of course, they do. And then the helicopter hits another helicopter, and both of them explode.
Presumably, I don't think we ever.
This is over 3 scenes. This is over 3 scenes.
Yeah,
about 5 minutes each.
Yeah, they the first one happens when he's in the bathtub with his dog.
Now, I would like to point out a bit of filmmaking incompetence here.
Oh boy.
And say that he goes to bed in his bathtub with all of the windows covered by steel protective shutters because the Dark Seekers, great name there. Doesn't it all sound like a freaking 90s beat 'em up? Sounds like Night Stalkers or Dark Stalkers or whatever it is.
But when I first heard the name, like, did they just fucking reference a Capcom fighting game? What the fuck?
I'd be down for that.
Dark Stalkers is so cool. I want a movie based on Dark Stalkers.
There's a cartoon.
I want a movie based off
and an anime.
Okay, I didn't know there was an anime. I just assumed there was a cartoon because it was Capcom.
And he goes to bed with all the shutters down in his bathtub, and he wakes up in his bed with sunlight coming in the window. Okay.
Now, you could probably say, well, maybe...
Now, the thing is, I can buy him getting up in the middle of the night and going to his bed.
Yeah.
That's not really... My issue is that he opens the shutter. This scenario.
Yeah, it's very... Now,
also, you see him put he puts like this bleach, I'm assuming, down to cover his scent. I think
that's what
I'm assuming he's doing.
Because he does it over the steps, right? So
they can't find him.
Maybe that's why he does it. They never really go into why. They do that a lot in this movie.
There's a lot of, and you see this in the houses when he goes scavenging for canned goods because he doesn't understand that canned goods can expire. That's fun. Like people, those survivalist nuts who have like bunkers. Like they started making bunkers like 5 years ago, and it's stashed with canned goods. That stuff's going to be bad by the time you need that bunker. You know that, right?
Yep.
MREs, maybe, but
sure. He also hangs out at the pier every day. Or the bay, whatever the fuck it is.
If there's anyone who can hear this radio broadcast, I'll be here at noon, at high noon when the sun is highest in the sky. I have food and water, and you can come, and I'll help you not be dead, and it'll be cool. We can watch Shrek. I like Shrek.
I will say that, for me, one thing where you see in the movie and you're like, damn, I wish I can do that. Is this when he's hitting golf balls off the fucking military planes? I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Not much else to do for 3 years.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. I wish I could do that because I like playing golf. So, he does that. They're going hunting for a deer again.
Though he's scavenging in the houses, and we see things tacked onto the walls.
Oh, right.
Warning: infected dogs can come out at dusk. But I don't know what to think about this because cool, it's non-verbal world building. That's interesting that you're doing that.
Right.
That's cool. On the other hand, it's still just exposition. So I don't know if it's good or bad.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
you're
it's
doing
just
it
like,
non-verbally. It's still just exposition. I don't know what to think.
fuck it, meeting in the middle. Just go, okay. This does come into play a little bit later, of course. So yeah, they're going through houses, and then they find a deer. They chase after it, and Sam, the dog, just really wants that fucking deer.
Yeah, he runs into the building.
The dark building.
Full of zombies.
Full of Zamzams.
And we see the only scene where they look even remotely good.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, they're all clustered in that hive, banging their heads.
Yeah. They make a daring
And
escape. Wahoo.
I don't know why he has his hand over the light when they're in the building.
I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense in this film.
They make a daring escape, but Will Smith's like, hang on. It has an idea.
And he constructs a Kevin McAllister trap.
It is a big-ass Kevin McAllister trap.
You can hear chorus of the bells when he's building it.
Sets a trap. He captures one of the infected, I guess I'll just call him. Brings them home because he wants to try his newest solution for the vaccine.
It don't work.
Does not work. Or does it?
It doesn't work yet.
Doesn't work yet.
And he destroys it. He smashes some stuff in his lab and then goes to Blockbuster. And I think he wants to sleep with a mannequin?
It's heavily implied.
I don't know. He set up all these mannequins around the video store so he can pretend he has friends. It's weird.
I mean, it's weird, but at the same time, it's one of the few things where I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like at some point, you'd probably like just lose all that kind of sense and just want something to talk to.
But
Fucking
presumably,
Fred.
since he's in the video store every day, he's returning Goodfellas, a movie I'd much rather watch than this one. He's returning Goodfellas, and he apparently spends a lot of time in the video store. Why have the Darkstalkers not tracked the scent there and just destroyed the place?
I mean,
Just looking for him, not because they're smart enough to know he's to know he that place is important to him. Just because I smell food, let us look through place and find the food.
yeah.
Right? They should have. This place should not. It should have been destroyed by angry zombies.
I don't know. Fuck it. Movie.
Movie.
We need to have some quirkiness, I guess. Haha, Will Smith, the last man in New York, is just putting mannequins everywhere. Isn't he crazy? Yeah, it's the whole fucking point.
He
finds
he goes
Fred
home,
after it all
comes
this.
out the next day. Oh, we see there are butterflies everywhere.
Sure.
You might think this means something. It really doesn't.
No.
It thinks it does, but it doesn't.
And then he sees Fred.
Yeah, the mannequin Fred.
Yeah, with the orange sweatshirt.
Not where he's supposed to be.
Yes. Now, when I first watched this back in 2007, I'm someone who hates mannequins because they creep the shit out of me because I'm afraid of puppets and stuff. So in this movie, you had a fucking mannequin. Well, I say I'm afraid of puppets. It depends, but like, when I just see mannequin move where it's not supposed, like when I see mannequin where it's not supposed to be, my mind immediately goes, "Oh fuck, this thing's gonna have moving mannequins."
So you're like Markiplier.
Yeah.
He's got the mannequin fear.
Yeah, I hate that shit. It fucking nah, Slap scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Fuck you, Goosebumps.
Viewer beware, you're in for a scare.
They were right, I was.
Goosebumps.
But yeah, so he gets really mad at Fred because he again.
If you're real, you better tell me.
Yeah, like
if you're real, you better tell me right now.
Bang. But for all reasons, he shouldn't be there because that's not where he put him.
I do kind of feel for Will Smith for Robert Neville here because on top of everything else, you do not need living dummies.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, fuck, man. I would be like, that's just the end. Fuck it. We're done.
I already have the zombies to deal with. Now I got this? No, I'm out.
What this ends up being is the same setup trap that he pulled on the Zamzams.
Oh, when he does the thing, when he catches the other Zamzam.
Yeah.
A zombie with a shirt, the only zombie wearing a shirt, comes out and yells at him. And then we get to see how bad these things look. Yeah. They're CGI.
Like, you know how... Because I think this was before. You know how iRobot did the CG?
But those weren't supposed...
Yeah, but they're
those
robots.
Were robots.
It's okay.
It's almost Mummy Returns Scorpion King.
Almost. Like, it's nearly there.
I'd say it's worse because the movie's not as good, but...
Yeah. I mean, it's also a lot brighter than where the Mummy would be usually.
But, yeah, they look rough, and then he's talking about it. He's like, one of the infected exposed himself to sunlight. And he hypothesizes reasons for it. They're acting against their basic survival instincts. All trace of human behavior is gone. It's like, hold on. Everything related to being a good person and, like, the basis of society
goes against
is based around going against human nature.
Yeah.
and survival instincts.
You know, like...
What are you talking about?
It's a hot meme right now, right? The go back, I want to return to monkey, go unga bunga brain. But, like, when we go against that is going against, like, our basic human nature.
Like, every time you go to a store, like, go to the grocery store, get your groceries and pay for them instead of bonking the person on the head and sprinting out the door as you going against basic human survival.
You know how in the world we currently live in right now, you go to the whatever like store you need to go to buy your food and stuff, and someone is walking down an aisle that is specifically only for up, but you control yourself and don't hit that person. That part of you that wants to hit that person is the return to monkey part. So
him, like, his hypothesis is wrong, and he's supposed to be a scientist.
In other words, we're all fucked.
But it's the same zombie who is the same zombie who set the trap up for him, and he throws some dogs at him.
Yeah, because
infected dogs.
The Night
because
Seekers,
Resident Evil,
they're called
Dark Seekers.
Yeah, Dark Seekers can't go out until the sun is physically gone.
Yeah, because it burns them.
Yeah, but the dogs, they can go out earlier, and well, God damn it, Sam tried his best.
Her best,
sorry. But she does get bitten by the infected dog.
And he manages to escape. I think he kills the dogs.
Yeah, sure.
He tries to cure the dog at home, cure Sam at home, and he doesn't. So she starts to turn.
This is where Matt fast forwards the movie.
In a room in his lab, full of all sorts of things you could inject into the dog to kill it painlessly. He strangles it and does a face like he's holding in a big fart.
Yeah.
The acting face, as we call it.
Doesn't matter. The dog still died, so Matt fast
This is where almost every other time I've watched this movie, except for this review, and the first time I watched it, this is where I'm like, okay, movie's over.
Yep.
Not just because I had to watch him kill his dog, but, well, he's not interesting without the dog.
Yeah. The
dog's...
So Sam dies, and he's obviously...
I'm sure you have you know someone who you only really bother maintaining friendship with because you like their dog, and you want to hang out with their dog.
Fuck, do I know anyone who has a dog? I don't think I do. I think I'm the friend with the dog. Oh no!
I hope I. Oh, I'm sorry. I've opened your mind up to
these thoughts are coming into my head.
Is it me or the dog?
This obviously pisses off Will Smith's character quite a bit.
He he goes and asks the mannequin he is attracted to say hello to him. He's like, I promised my friend I'd say hello to you today. Hello. It's all very awkward.
Oh fuck!
Please say hello to me. Then he tries to kill himself.
Yeah, just by aimlessly ramming himself into the
killing as many Darkseekers as he can.
Yeah, and
then he crashes his car, hurts his leg, and gets rescued. Sort of.
He wakes up at home to the sounds of Shrek.
Well, he's in a car, and
right.
He's hearing, where do you live? And he's barely conscious enough to respond because everything that just happened.
Yeah.
And he wakes up, and there's Shrek on the TV.
It's still my favorite part of the movie.
And bacon and eggs being cooked.
Yeah.
And I think they walked Shrek twice through, given the scenes. Because one scene, is the scene when he wakes up is near the end of the movie, when after they've brought Fiona to Farquaad, and he's built the wall through the swamp.
Yeah.
And then the one later is when Shrek rescues Donkey, which happens earlier. So they're just watching Shrek over and over again.
I mean, like, look, far be it from me to judge them.
And there's an expression with schlock movies, which is never reference a better movie than your movie and your bad movie. And
well, here's Shrek.
You've already referenced Goodfellas and Shrek, so
fuck. Now I just want to watch Shrek.
Somebody once told me the world was full of zombies.
Well, Smith's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
So we meet Anna and Ethan.
Fuck, they have names? I know it sounds rude, but I genuinely didn't remember.
Anna and Ethan. Talking about a survivors colony in the mountains. And then he explodes. Like he throws this thing across his bacon and eggs at the wall.
Sorry,
I was saving that bacon.
It's a very good choice of words when he explodes. I was like, wait a minute. I'm sure there's some other stuff that happens.
Then he goes upstairs, comes back down. They're watching Shrek again, as I said. And then he, I think, has a mental breakdown.
He sure looks
where
like he does.
Where he's just the lines to Shrek verbatim.
Yeah.
And Ethan looks at him with actual fear.
Like, look, I've seen Shrek a lot of times, but I don't know if I could quote the movie verbatim.
But he's looking at him like he's insane because he's just saying they're quoting all the lines from the movie. And this is not normal human behavior.
I love that Shrek is involved in this fucking movie. Good lord. Oh, yeah, didn't, like, he go down to his lab again?
Well,
is that later?
It's later.
Okay.
He just says the best out of context line in this movie, just, I like Shrek.
Me too, Will Smith, me too. Fucking Christ.
Then you just start thinking if this movie would have worked better with Eddie Murphy. And the answer's kinda yes.
Oh, fuck.
And they're talking about the colony, and he doesn't believe there's a colony, and everyone's dead, and
he has the math to prove it.
Apparently. And then they close up everything. Apparently she doesn't know who Bob Marley is, but she knows who Damian Marley is, and I do not believe her.
Wait, what?
Apparently the Anna doesn't know who Bob Marley is.
I mean, like, I can get someone not, like, knowing who Bob Marley is. I can get that, but, like, how do you know Damian Marley and not Bob?
She's from South America. She's
True.
from Sao Paulo. So but knowing one without knowing the other is
weird.
Weird.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. He gives her the
It's
famous
like
Bob Marley album.
to make this an apt comparison. It's like knowing who Jaden Smith is without knowing who Will Smith is.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly.
And he plays "Don't Worry" again on the thing. Says a really thing about Bob Marley about how he was shot by. He was going to be at a peace protest, and he was shot by a gunman, but he came anyway. He wasn't shot, but the gunman did break into his home.
Yeah.
And when asked why, he said, "The people who are trying to make this world worse aren't taking a day off. How can I?" And then he also he said something about he thinks that racism and hate can be cured with music and love, and he wants to bring light to the darkness.
Get it? Bringing light to the darkness.
And then the zombies attack.
Yeah, that is all out fucking war.
Because they followed them home.
Yeah, and something about not
Big
turning stuff on or something.
Big action scene.
Yeah, zombies break in. Craziness ensues.
The problem with this is they made the zombies too strong, because in all the other versions, they know where he is. They just can't get in at him.
Right.
But when they all basically have super strength, super speed, can never actually tire. It's just
mindless beating machines. Yeah, it does kind of just, I don't know. What, like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like watching a Resident Evil movie.
It's better than that, at least.
Yeah.
Because the character doesn't just have God mode on all the time.
Fair enough. But, yeah, the zombies break in to his house. He starts fighting them off.
This is the scene in the movie where I usually just fast forwarded because it's not in an interesting action sequence.
Yeah, it's really not. It's kind of meh. Shit keeps going wrong, so he brings them all to the lab because he has
he hides them in
glass.
Apparently the cure has worked.
Oh yeah, there's a part where he was cooling her body, and he just wanted to see if that would do anything with the effects, even though he straight out said this is probably gonna kill her.
Oh, this will most certainly kill it.
Yeah, fuck it, we'll just see if it works, and I guess it does. Wahoo! And
the zombies get into the lab. He hides the two people in some little door, and the alpha zombie punches a butterfly into the glass.
Well, he rams himself into it, and Will Smith sees a butterfly.
But here's where we get to something interesting.
Ah, yes.
The alternate endings.
That's right, folks. There are two endings to this movie.
The first which ending should we discuss first? Because they're almost identical.
I would talk about the theatrical one, which is the one with the grenade. That was the one that released in theaters first.
Yep, he punches the butterfly into the glass. They're trying to get in. He tells them to hide, gives them a vial of the cures. I hear this is why God sent you here, because she says God sent her there, because the world is quieter, so she could hear him.
Sorry, I just forgot about that line.
Then he tells them the zombies he can fix them, but they don't care. And he opens the door and blows himself and them up with a grenade. And the butterfly on the door is also tattooed on Anna's neck and shows up in a lot of other places, but doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
the movie's trying to be subtle, guys.
Yeah, it's too subtle for its level of skill.
Yeah, Anna's driving on the country road, take her home.
Gets to the safe zone, which is real, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is his legacy. This is his legend. Apparently Will Smith is 52 in the movie. I don't believe you.
Same.
He may actually have been. He just doesn't look that old.
Yeah, no, he still looked
I'm not saying 52 is old. I'm saying he doesn't look like he's that age.
Oh, yeah, he looked like he did in fucking any earlier movie when he was supposed to be 30 or something, right?
Makes me miss fun Will Smith.
I miss fun Will Smith. Wild Wild West, anyone? I remember.
Well, at least it's not bad as Aladdin. And everyone lives happily ever after.
Yay!
Then we get the alternate ending.
Yes, this was released alongside the DVD release of the movie, I believe. I don't think it was ever shown in theaters.
And contrary to popular belief, the alternate ending does not make the movie magically good. Just slightly more confusing.
Yeah, now, bear in mind, when I first saw this movie, I saw it on the DVD release, and this was the ending that I saw. So I was very confused.
Would you like to tell the people what the other ending is?
Okay, let's see if I can remember everything clearly. From what I remember, it all plays out the same. They all get down to the lab. And, the dude is trying to break in. And it's all going to lead up to basically what's the other ending. Except, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, the main zombie man with the shirt blows his breath on the window, I think. And draws a butterfly. And
yep.
Yeah, and then
I think actually he does smash the butterfly into the window, but intentionally somehow.
Yeah, it's one. He puts a fucking butterfly on the plexiglass.
And the butterfly's tattooed on the zombie he was experimenting on.
Yeah, that's it. So this whole time, the reason why the zombie man was after Will Smith was because they had his girl.
Yeah, it's his mate.
Yeah, and they release her, who I think she's still cured, I guess.
Yeah, for now.
For now, and they just leave after they get her?
Yeah, other zombies try to attack Will Smith, and Alpha Zombie's like, no, stop it.
He gave her back. He's okay for now. He lives another day. And then they all leave. Will Smith doesn't die. He doesn't blow himself up. That's it.
Yeah.
And they all get to the safe zone or whatever.
And the zombies, the butterfly in this, I think, represents metamorphosis, because the zombies are actually kind of people.
Yeah.
And they're evolving to actually think and be human. Just a new form of human. A bit like the ending of the book, but Robert Neville does die in the book.
Well, I mean...
Spoilers for a book that came out about 70 years ago now.
Yeah, we literally just said what happened, 5 minutes ago, so...
Well, the books and movie are different.
True, but, eh.
And, yeah, neither ending's very good. Because there's no safe zone in the book. And we end with credits I only watched because it has Redemption Song by Bob Marley, which is really, really, really good.
That song's so good.
And... yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I Am Legend's a weird movie for me. Because, on the one hand, there's parts of it that I do like, just as a film.
Mm.
But, as a whole, nothing really happens in this entire movie.
Yeah, it's
and I had to watch a dog fucking die. So, why did I watch this?
Yeah, that's never
yeah,
fun.
why am I here? Why am I here?
Just to suffer?
Yeah, just... but yeah, it's one of those things where it's you've probably, if you haven't seen it, you've definitely heard of it, around the time it was coming out.
Especially lately with what's been going on.
Yeah.
But also, don't watch it. We don't need something subtly anti-vax propaganda right now.
Yeah, it's very, well, we'll wait to see what happens with that.
Yeah, because what causes the zombocalypse is, a cancer cure.
Oh, fuck, that's true. I didn't even put yeah, it's true. Fuck that. Yeah, this movie is the
thing that I don't like about the alternate ending is, aside from everyone lives happily ever after, isn't really how you want to end your apocalypse movie. But the whole, they're actually okay. They're still cannibalistic psychopaths, so no, they're not.
Yeah.
It's like in Hills Have Eyes, if the movie went exactly as it did, except it had an ending where you're supposed to feel sorry for Papa Hades.
It's yeah, cool.
I mean, Papa Jupiter.
It's yeah, cool, but they still killed like 5 people, and they were going to eat them.
And a baby.
And a baby.
And a dog, more importantly.
Yeah, I'm not sympathetic towards these things.
It's in some ways it is the worst adaptation I've seen of I Am Legend. I do have to hold it to a stronger adaptation,
Right.
rules as an adaptation, because it's the one that called itself I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Because Omega Man's different, but Omega Man's called the Omega Man.
Right. It's inspired by the book, right, or something, or like,
I mean,
however they want to call it.
Omega Man's still my favorite of these. Just like one of my favorite films, actually. I really, really like that movie.
Sure.
But it's better than Vincent Price's Last Man on Earth because the acting is better.
Yeah.
But it's also not as interesting, and it doesn't follow the book at all, really.
This is the problem with adaptations, is it not?
It's to the point of, why are you basing it on this?
See, I think that might be the thing too, right? If this was just like another movie, it'd be whatever.
But the fact that it's really just 28 days later, but bleh, is...
Yeah.
And this is what, unfortunately, most people will know as I Am Legend. It's...
Yeah, I mean, for sure that was my case. Like back in 2007, I didn't know I didn't know it was based off a book until my aunt told me. Like I'm definitely not gonna fault you for that if you didn't know like the other 2 movies existed, right?
Hey, I didn't know when it came out.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still didn't think
it.
it was
Like,
great when it came out.
Like this isn't a fucking angry mob that's gonna be like, "Bro, you didn't read the book." It's like, no, we didn't fucking know.
And hey, I'm not saying that an adaptation has to follow the book exactly. I think, blasphemy, I know, the Lord of the Rings movies are better than the books.
I agree.
Because Tolkien wasn't really good at a little thing called getting to the effing point.
Yeah, just a bit.
There's world building, and then there's the characters are just taking baths and singing about it, and you don't really need that.
God bless. Oh, Lord. Yeah, this movie is... It's what you make it, right? Like, it's one of those, like, you're either probably going to like it for what it is, or you're just not going to like it.
It's also way too tame to be an effective zombie movie.
Yeah.
There's, like, almost no gore. There's very little violence.
Fuck yeah, you barely see the zombies in this movie.
Fortunately, because they look awful.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like the main thread is barely in here, so you don't. Really
and it's not even really good as a character piece about a man going slowly insane, and it's just, I don't know what it's trying to do, but whatever it is, it's not doing it well.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I don't know. It's weird. I feel very just empty.
I might watch it again, but if I want a zombie film, I'm not going to put it in. If I want an I Am Legend movie, I'm not going to put it in. It's not really one I'd pick over anything else ever.
Yeah.
Heck, I'd probably watch last week's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 over this if I just want to pick a movie at random to watch. It's just kind of bland, really.
Yeah. It's probably one of those things, like, if you see it on TV, you're like, sure.
The last 2 were the other 2 adaptations are the story really does work a lot better with that kind of B movie vibe to it.
Right, yeah.
As a big budget blockbuster star vehicle, it really doesn't fit.
Yeah, it's a bit it's
like,
a
I
bit
think this
weird.
is PG-13 or PG and PG-13.
Yeah, 13 sounds
And
right.
it doesn't fit. It's also action, adventure, and drama. None of these are horror. Like I watched on the DVD I have with the Omega Man, Dark City, and Logan's Run.
Right.
The Apocalypse 4-pack. It had like little animated comic video shorts in bonus features.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Every single one was more interesting than this.
Yeah, I remember that because when we were watching the DVD, we checked those out too. That's right.
Every single one of those was more interesting.
Yeah, I remember that. Fuck.
It's I might even watch the terrible Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead over this one, because it's just at least a little more what I'm looking for out of a zombie film.
Yeah.
It's not good,
but it's at least...
It's a huge margin worse than this, but at least it's more interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, I feel you. This is a very, like I said, for me, it's hit or miss. Like, you're either gonna be cool with this movie, or you're just gonna fucking hate it.
It's inoffensive.
Yeah, that's it.
And when it's inoffensive is the best thing you can say about a movie.
Yeah, it exists.
Yeah, so it's like it's inoffensive. Yeah, so is vanilla ice cream, but
okay. I see. I'm being personally tactful here.
Oh, sorry.
Kidding. I was sucker
Personally,
for the vanilla.
Strawberry out of the three basics myself is my favorite.
That's fair. If
Neapolitan
you're part of the strawberry
Neapolitan
gang,
is for cowards.
Group.
Neapolitan's for cowards.
Yeah.
Can't decide. You need 3 different flavors? Come on. Anyway, next week.
Oh boy.
Next week. Oh, no, I feel like I felt like I was going into the baseball bat scene from Untouchables there. Teamwork. Well, next week.
Oh shit. This is some build-up.
Next week is the 1st of October. So we're going into Halloween content.
Oh shit.
It's Halloween. That's all I'll say. See you next week, guys.
You guys are going to enjoy it, I'm sure.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. And stop.